Alrighty guys, I'm Casey and welcome to a brand new episode of Minecraft Modded Survival World. In this season we're building up a medieval castle, and last episode we worked on this building here and this building here. And today what I want to do is I want to work even more on this particular building here, because this is going to be our skeleton mob farm. We're going to put in 3 killing chambers within here. And I kind of want to decide how they are going to go. Some small little things that I want to do. The first thing I think I want to do is I would like to add a basement to this. Which is something I should have done when building it, but I didn't think I'd need a basement. But I think in this instance that I may. So let me get a basement dug out and then I'll be back with you. Well, the basement is put in. I was not as clean and as smooth as I would have liked, actually. I was planning just to, scroll down here. We got some pillars to put in, as I do up here as well. But what I want to focus on is actually building just one of these pods. I think building one of them is kind of important. And I'll show you what I want to do with it. So, when we're building a mob farm, we need quite a few different things. The first thing, obviously, is we need a chamber to kill them in. And that's what we're going to focus on here. So let's go and build a chamber. I think, for the sake of this chamber, we will go with the same style that we're using for the walls. Which would be... I'm building this the opposite way to what I would normally build it. So we do that. Let's do that here as well. Like so. Yeah, that's right. Thought I made a mistake. Now, the size of the kill chamber can vary. You don't need it to be any particular size. You've got a few possibilities. Me, I like to go with a 5x5 space as a killing chamber. It's what the default skeletons will spawn into. They'll spawn in a 5x5 area of the spawner. Obviously, you can add upgrades to increase that to, I think, 7x7 and 9x9. So if you want to make a bigger mob farm, you can. But the way that we're going to kill these guys, the mob grinder that will kill them, only kills in a 5x5. So there are ways to lure them towards it and bring them towards you. But I think for the sake of this, we're just going to do this. And I do actually want to add a window in at the back of each one of these. And this is going to be a unique window. That's supposed to be that. I did accidentally knock out a few of them. Hang on a minute. That doesn't... Oh, yeah, that's right. This is going to be a unique window. It's going to be some glass that doesn't let light in, because I do believe that light affects the spawn rates. We're going to pop a window in. I'll get rid of these. We'll get some lanterns. We'll put some lanterns on here because it'll work out really, really cool. Now, I'm going to do this same thing upstairs as well, but we're going to focus on this for now. And focus on the first act that we need to do, which is spawn in the enemies. Now, I'm going to assume that you have a way of getting power in your world, because, to be honest, if you are this advanced, you will have a source of power within the game. So, I'm going to assume that you have power. What we need to do is we need to create what's called a powered spawner. Now, there are... Is it... Oh, right, I put in power spawner. We need to create something called a powered spawner, which is this thing here. And if you look, it says press control for advanced info, and below that it says skeleton. That's what it's going to do. I've already made one of these. This is what I used for wither skeletons. If you take a skeleton spawner, you put it in the nether, it will spawn, about 95% of the time it will spawn wither skeletons. It's a great way to get wither skeleton skulls. But we're going to make one from scratch, which means we need to create this powered spawner, which requires a few things. We're going to go over each of these individually, and I want 6 of these, so I've got to create 6 of these. So first of all, we need electric steel, which means we need to craft ourselves an alloy smelter. So if we go to alloy smelter, I'm going to assume that you already have this in your world, but if not, it's really easy to craft. You just need some of this, and a machine chassis is really simple and easy. This isn't too extraordinary. Evidently it is. But I'm going to assume that you don't have electric steel and a couple of the others. So let's just make those, and let's make ourselves an alloy smelter. I always do that for some reason. Now, I do have quite a bit of electric steel. And I also have an alloy smelter here. But we've crafted one now. So now if we look at the electric steel, I'm actually going to type in spawner so that we can keep going through this. The electric steel is made by putting iron, crushed coal, and silicon into the alloy smelter. Which means we may need an additional machine. I'm just going to get rid of this painting machine for now. We need something called a sag mill, which I have plenty of, but the recipe is really easy. It's just pistons. It's stuff that you should know how to get at this point. So you can figure that out, and then sag mill. I'm just going to pop this sag mill here. Now remember, these machines need to be attached to power. There's our sag mill. Now, if you remember for the spawner, my keys don't want to work with me. For the spawner, we need electric steel, and to get electric steel, we need silicon. We're doing the alloy smelter recipe. You can do this recipe as well in an induction smelter, but I'm going to stick with Ender IO because this is Ender IO. So we need silicon and we need coal. If we look at silicon, we get that by crushing sand. And again, oh, you can actually get it from crushing clay. That's interesting, but I'm pretty sure we can do sand as well. Yeah. So sand and clay. There's different ways to get it. We're going to get it from sand, I think would just be the easier way. And again, we also need crushed coal for this. So, pulverized coal, again, is just coal in whatever will crush. And there's various different things that will crush within Minecraft. We've obviously got the pulverizer. We've got a sag mill. So, I've got a couple of sag mills. So, I'm actually going to grab another sag mill out of here. And I'm going to hook it up as well. So, let's just grab ourselves some energy conduits. I'm going to use these energy conduits to drag my energy out. Make ourselves a line of stuff here. Get a couple of sag mills going. And this. These have dark steel balls in them and an octatic capacity. You don't need these. These are just going to increase the sand chance of outputting silicon. And the octatic capacitor is just going to speed it up. So, let's get ourselves some sand. And let's get ourselves some coal. Now, I already have quite a lot of the stuff needed for this, but I want to go through just in case you guys don't. So I'm just going to pop that in there and pop that in there. And as you can see, we're now getting crushed coal. And in here, we're getting silicon, quite a bit of silicon. And that's actually rather fast. So if we look at this electric steel. Electric steel again. What was the other element? I believe it was iron. Yes, so we need a stack of iron. Well, we don't need a stack, but I'm going to do a stack. We need iron, coal, and silicon. We've got the iron. We've got the coal and we've got the silicon now. So I'm just going to take this iron. I'm going to pop this iron in my inventory. We've got ourselves that. And we've got ourselves that. And then all you do is literally pop those in the alloy smelter. And they'll start making up and making electric steel. So let's go and have a quick sleep. Like so. This takes a little bit, unfortunately, but it's better than the risking it raining. It's the only reason I sleep, to stop it from raining. But anyway, now we have our electric steel. We've made that up. There we go. Does take a little bit of a while. You could throw one of these octatic capacitors in it to speed it up. We've already got electric steel, so let's get back to the powered spawner. We've got this. Then we need a mob head. Now in modern Minecraft, you'll notice that mobs just start dropping their head randomly. To make things a little bit easier, you can go to Tinker's and I called mine Cloud, Devil's Cloud, after Final Fantasy VII. But you can make yourselves a cleaver, and the cleaver has a higher chance of beheading. You can add beheading modifiers to it, but that's a different story for a different day. Just get yourself a cleaver, or just go kill mobs to get it. So let's get back to the spawner. That'll get a mob head. Any mob head will do for this. And again, the machine chassis is really, really cheap. We've made a few of these already. We'll just make ourselves a bunch more just to make sure we've got enough. So we've taken care of this. Then we get into the more difficult parts of it, and that's these bottom two. We're going to start with the vibrant crystal, which requires emeralds and vibrant alloy. And vibrant alloy is a little bit of a rabbit hole to get down, because to get vibrant alloy, you need energetic alloy. And energetic alloy is gold, redstone, and glowstone popped into here. So we've got gold, glowstone, and redstone. Let's take these out now and pop those in. I'm going to nab this octatic capacitor. There we go. And now that is going to turn into energetic alloy. We need to turn this energetic alloy into vibrant alloy, which is easy. You just need something that I have a lot of. If I could learn to spell today, that'd be a great start. And that's ender pearls. So we're just going to take these out. We're going to put the energetic alloy there. I want to stick in some ender pearls. And that's going to make us vibrant alloy. Boom. So we've gone over how to make them. Let's get back to this powered spawner. I don't know if I could spell sometimes. And all we need is the nugget, and you just make the nugget as you would make normal nuggets. So, oh, I actually don't have enough nuggets. I thought I would have. So I'm going to make myself just a few of these because I want 6 of these spawners in total. Although I'm just going to go, no, 3. I want 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. There's those. So now we've got these. And the last one is Z Logic Controller. This one's a bit more of a rabbit hole. This is a little bit more tough. We need a zombie head, which I've already gone over how to get. But we're missing something. We need Solarium. So we know how to get silicon, we know how to get redstone, and we know how to get a zombie head. But we need this machine that's called a slice and splice. And we also need Solarium. Now I'm not going to show you how to get Solarium right this moment because let's take a look at the slice and splice. Slice and splice. That requires Solarium. It also requires any head, machine chassis, some shears, which we can craft easy enough, an axe, which we could, again, craft easy enough. Let's grab those. I'm just going to dump those in there temporarily because I'm going to need them. So let's get into Solarium, which is, if I remember rightly, I'm going off of memory here, is gold and soul sand. But before you go ahead and throw this into here, throw the gold in first, then the soul sand. Don't do it the other way around, because in quite a lot of mod packs, soul sand is treated as sand. So you put it in here on its own, it's going to start smelting as glass. So just put in your gold first and then this. And then there we go, we get our Solarium. Easy enough. And now we can get ourselves our slice and splice, which again is easy enough. And this is where I put this aside. This is purely for convenience. Let's pop our slice and splice down. And what we need to do is we need to pop in some shears and some axes. Now, let's get ourselves those stuff that we needed for the powered spawner, which if I remember rightly, it was silicon, which we've got here. It was Solarium, which we've got here. It was redstone, which we've got here. And it was also a mob head, if I remember rightly. Let's go with a zombie. I don't think it really makes too much of a difference which way around you go here. But we are going to throw that in, and silicon. And that's going to start doing. I'm actually going to just grab my octatic capacitor out of here. Pop it in here to make it do a little bit quicker. Boom. We have our Z Logic Controller. So we can pop this in here now, and we can create ourselves a spawner. So, there we go. We got our spawner. But this one says empty. If you look at my other one, it says skeleton. We need to somehow get a skeleton in here. And there's a couple of ways that we can do that. We can convert a spawner into a skeleton spawner, but the easy way is just to grab a spawner that is the type that you want. So if we look here, I've got a couple of skeleton spawners here. And now what I need is, believe it or not, is an anvil. This is vanilla mechanics right here. All you do is you plump your anvil down, you plop your powered spawner down, and you plop your broken spawner down. And then you take it out, and it's a skeleton spawner. Now, let's just say that, for example, you don't have a skeleton spawner. So if I go here, you can see that I've got quite a lot of zombie spawners. So let's just take a zombie spawner. We're going to convert this zombie spawner into a skeleton spawner. And it's very, very easy to do. It's very, very easy to do. But I am going to slightly cheat a little bit. Well, I'm not going to cheat. I'm just going to make it easier on myself that you guys won't have to do, but you'll get it. So, first things first, we need what's called a soul vial. And I could have sworn that I had a few of these. And all that is fused quartz. Is that fused quartz? Which is literally just nether quartz in the alloy smelter. And solarium. So we already know how to get this. We're going to grab this. Okay. We're going to grab this. And now what we need to do is get ourselves a skeleton. So it's not night, it's day. So I'm just going to grab onto here. I'm going to grab my spawner that's here. And I'm also going to grab Tesseract. And this is where I said that I was going to slightly cheat a little bit. I'm going to pop my... Actually, I don't know if this is going to spawn in the daytime. There was a skeleton spawner, right? Yeah. Yep. And then just shift, right-click the skeleton. Okay, come on. Enough. Die already, stupid skeletons. Yeah. That's where I said I was going to cheat a little bit. I'm just going to shift and right-click that skeleton there. Get myself a skeleton that way. But you can find a way to get a skeleton. They spawn easily enough in the night time. Then all you do is... Oh no, actually, I am missing one important thing. I was about to combine it in an anvil. That's not right. What you need is something called a soul binder. And this is a little bit of a rabbit hole. Well, not so much a rabbit hole. It's just a little bit difficult to get a hold of. Because you need one of each of the standard vanilla mobs. Except for Spider. You need an Enderman head, a creeper head, a zombie head, and a skeleton head, as you can see. And... you know, then you get this soul binder. And then all you do is you pop the soul binder down. Again, it costs solarium, but we got that. You pop in your vial. In this case, we've got a skeleton vial. You pop in your spawner. In this case, we've got a zombie spawner. Now, we can use any vial we want. We can use an enderman vial. We can use a zombie vial. We can use a spider vial. Same for whichever mob you wanted to create. Then we just click use player XP and that is going to start to work. Now this is kind of slow. It does take a little bit of a while. And if you play it in 1.10 onwards, I believe, this actually turns around. It's really cool. But this takes a while. But we've already got a skeleton spawners here. So I'm going to go and grab myself some levels here. I want to retrieve 10 levels and retrieve 3 levels. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this down with this and grab my skeleton spawner. Now sometimes it glitches a little bit like it did there and it showed we had multiple in our inventory. That's not a glitch that stays. It just as soon as you exit out your inventory, say you can't use them or anything. It's not a duplication glitch or anything like that. It's just simply this. So now to get this powered spawner to work, we need a source of power. Now if you've got power in your world, you know how to run power using these cables or using whatever cables you're doing. All you literally do is run power to the spawner. Then it will start to spawn. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to install these spawners. Because I need to make another one. But I'm going to install them in the middle, right in the center here. And then I'm also going to just go to this configuration and tell it to push here. And you can say spawn or capture, which means you can capture them in a soul vial if you want. We want them to spawn. You could put a capacitor here, but beware if you do, it increases the range from 5 to 7 to 9. We are going to increase it to 7 because these will prevent it from spawning in 7x7, but it also increases the rate at which they spawn. So the second capacitor is going to be our one, not the third one. We could have certainly done this a little bit bigger, I suppose, but I'm happy with this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this in all of these, and I do kind of want to have... Oh, that one's got power in it. I do want to have them also at the top here. So I may do 6 of them, but I think 6 might be a bit overkill. I'm thinking 6 would more than likely be overkill, but yeah. So I'm going to get them installed, and then I'm going to bring you back to show you how you can kill them. Well, we've got the pods in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You may notice that there are some bricks missing. There is some demo work that's been done. We're also punching out place for some windows that I didn't put in the last episode, but I am going to put it in this episode. So I wasn't quite sure where I wanted the windows to be in the last episode. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the windows in the killing pods or not, because I know it's going to shed light in there. I don't know how that's going to reduce efficiency. I think they'll still spawn with the right light level, with the wrong light level rather. They spawned over there, didn't they, when we had it in the bright sun? So my only concern is that maybe they'll take refuge on here. So I might, for the sake of these buildings, use different glass. I'd like to use dark glass to sort of signify the mob buildings. But now we've got these. As soon as we, I've also ran this here, so I can put a lever on this. I don't know if it's gonna let me put the lever on it near or not. No, I'm gonna have to put the facade on it first. So I can turn these on and off, and basically you've got this here, and I just want to tell you a little bit about this. What this does is this tells you when it's going to work. If you put never active, it means it's never going to work. If you put always active, it's going to work no matter what the redstone signal is. If you put activate with a signal, when you give it a signal, it will work. And if you click activate without a signal, it means when it doesn't have a signal, it will work. I've set all these to activate with a signal, so when I flick a switch, they'll come on. I think that's the best way to do it. But now we've got these spawning, we can kill them with our atomic hammer or whatever it is. But there are other ways to kill these, and this is what we are going to look at in today's, well, not today's video, in the second half of today's video. But the first bit we're going to do is sleep. Now there are a multitude of ways to kill mobs. If I was playing a skyblock, I would go down the route of spikes, because spikes are energy efficient, they don't use any power. But we've got power, we've got energy, so I'm going to use a way that uses that. And that is by using the grinder. Now we could use this mob grinder from Draconic Evolution. This is a brilliant one. This can one-shot a wither. It's super powerful. But that's kind of late game. We've not really got into Draconic Evolution. I've not got into Draconic Evolution before on the channel, so we're going to stick with this grinder. And the only troubling bit about the grinder really is these plastic sheets. You need raw plastic. Now, to get raw plastic is really simple and easy. It just takes a little bit of time. You see, all over the world you'll have these rubber trees. And if you have a mega rubber sapling, do not grow it. Do not grow a mega rubber sapling, especially if it is enchanted. If it is enchanted, do not grow it, because the tree will probably be as large as our entire city. But yeah, you see these rubber trees? When you mine them, you get this raw rubber. Okay, and I've been getting some plastic for deep storage units, so if you need to. So, they're kind of left over from the ones that didn't grow. They've obviously grown now. And all you do is you take the rubber, you pop it in the alloy smelter or the furnace. This can be in a regular furnace. Give me that. And it's going to turn this raw rubber into a rubber bar. And then we need to turn this rubber bar into plastic. So we go back to here. You remember this needed raw plastic. And that's super simple as well. It's literally just smelting it once more. Then you get the raw plastic. Then you can make these plastic sheets. It's that simple. So I've got a couple of grinders. I've only got 4 and I need 2 more. Now I may struggle for this actually, because I don't have a source of leather in this world. But it looks like I have enough leather left over. So 1, 2. Plus those 4 there. Boom. So, when these kill a mob, these will generate a byproduct. The byproduct, it will generate 2 kinds of different byproducts. First of all, it'll generate the products that we want. The mob drops. It's going to kill the mob. It's going to generate the mob drops. It's going to spit it out the back. If I just pop these down for you to see. I can't remember which way I have to be facing for this. No. This way. So I need to run a power lead to that by going under here. So let's grab the power lead. Hook this up to power because this requires power. Now this is going to kill mobs with this side facing to it in a 5x5 area. So this is going to kill any mob within here. Then it's going to spit out all of its goodies to the back. It's going to spit out 2 different kinds of goodies. First of all, it'll spit out the mob drops. Whatever mob we kill here, it'll spit it out. So in this, we're going to get skeleton skulls, bones, arrows, bows, armor, that kind of stuff. and it'll spit it here. You could put a chest here, you could put an item conduit here, you could put whatever you want to grab the items here, and it'll put it into that chest for you. The second byproduct is that essence I was talking about at the beginning of the episode, where we need essence to use other spawners. So we need to do something with that essence. And for the time being, I'm just going to store that essence down here in some drums. Because we won't really use it for much at the minute. It's super useful with my factory reloaded spawners, the easier to craft spawners. Because I can't remember if I've shown that at the beginning of this episode. If we look at spawners, there's... Where did it go? There's this auto spawner here. Let me just land. There's this auto spawner. This is from Mine Factory Reloaded. And this will spawn mobs much easier than the ones we're using. We just need to catch them in a net. We catch them in a safari net. Pop them in here and it's going to continuously spawn those. The only trouble is this requires power and essence to work. It's obviously a bit cheaper than going and trying to find a spawner, but it requires essence. And we'll use this later on for some other mob farms. And we'll need this essence. But for right now, I just kind of want to store this essence here. Maybe we'll send it off to the deep storage unit as well. But I kind of want to use it for a mob farm later on. Mobs spawn a lot better with this and in large, greater numbers and faster. It's actually a better spawner than the end of IO ones, but the end of IO ones will do us for now. So, I'm going to pop these in place. I'm going to hook them all up and then I'll be back with you. Welcome back, folks, and it's all in place. This looks lovely. We've got 3 floors. I still need to figure out the way to get up and down. It's probably going to be a ladder, I think. There's not really that much room for a staircase. I mean, we could possibly run a small one up here. But as you can see, it's all in place now, and I didn't put a chest here. I actually put an item conduit underneath it, and I'm uncertain if that works. I think the item conduit has to be here. But it connected to the bottom of it, so I'm kind of hoping that it does work. It's been a while since I've played around with these, so that could go. I'll also put lanterns up in here. So, when we flick this lever, it should start working. I've got everything apart from the essence drums in place. I've got these chests down here just to collect the loot. We will be moving the loot over and into, if we just go up here, into this building in the near future. But for right now, I just want somewhere to store the loot until we can get this room up and running. So, let's go flick the switch and hope it happens. First things first, let's connect the Tesseract. Let's see, receiving, sending, we want it to send energy, we want it to receive energy, and that's all. So, if I've done this right, none of these should be spawning just yet. But they're getting energy, good, okay. Then when we flip this, they should start to work. Yes, you see them sparkling. Okay. I have not added the capacitors to them. I just realized I was going to add octatic capacitors to them. Okay, so we've got some skeletons spawning here. Oh, okay. The problem is these have a redstone signal. Okay. Which isn't a big deal. We can actually resolve this pretty easily. By instead of having this activate with a signal, have it activate without a signal. So the lever will just be in a different position. So that's that done. Which means when it doesn't have a signal, they'll be working. Good. So all I need to do now is... Did that not pick that up? I wonder why that is. It's also not got rid of the... Oh, of course it won't get rid of the essence. I don't actually have a place for it to put the essence. Okay, so let's just troubleshoot this a little bit. And don't be disheartened when stuff like this happens, you know. When you're creating stuff, you have failures. You have things that don't always go according to plan. And you can't work around it. So now that should work. And good, I don't see any items in here. That's got essence in it. I mean, they will have essence in it because I haven't got anywhere for it to put the essence just yet. But the important thing is we shouldn't see any items in there. Hello. Now it's entirely possible that this guy just literally spawned in because it's... No, he shouldn't have spawned in. Not because it's dark. What if he's spawning outside the boundaries? But if we click this, it should stop it, which is good. And if we go down here, we can see that we've got spoils. Yep. Now, I think I'll just put in this first chest. You can see we've got bones and arrows, which is pretty much what we want. Not that many bones, not that many arrows, but this thing will start to fill up pretty quickly. And we can add more capacitors to it, which I think I'm going to do now. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave this to run a little bit. Need to get this essence out of here. So let's have a sleep. Let me get some drums put in place. I'm going to run it for a little bit and then I'll show you the loot. You know, sometimes no matter how hard you try, you just can't avoid mistakes, can you? That's exactly what I've done. I've made a small mistake that we can solve. You may notice these leaves here. These leaves aren't permanent, but what they're doing is they're stopping skeletons from spawning outside here. So I actually got the capacitors mixed up. They don't actually increase the range, they just increase the frequency. And it's just because the frequency was so high, we were getting them spawn out here. By putting these leaves here, we stop them from actually being able to find this as a spawnable location. So we need to come up with some way to put something on the edges here to reduce the amount of the chance of them spawning out here. Now with skeletons, it's not too big of a deal. You know, I can slay the skeletons. We can obviously come up with something, maybe some grass slabs, some leaves, or maybe I just bring up this to this height here. But then again, I can't do that because it needs to be something that they can't spawn on. They can't spawn on leaves. So definitely got to do something with that. I also want to try the idea that maybe if I put some torches down, would that stop it if the light level is too bright? I don't think this is going to work with the light level. I really don't think the light level is going to make much of a difference when they spawn out here. And I don't know if they can still spawn on a block that's got a torch on it. But we'll figure something out. But I want to show you what I've done in here. I've had a little bit of a rethink about how things are going to work. And I definitely want to store mob drops in the mob farm, actually. I think this is... Oh, no, this is on. This is on. Definitely want to store the mob drops here. So these are the drops that we are getting. We've got essence here, filling up in these. And it's kind of annoying. You can't set these as a priority. Like, the items, I can set priorities. This is a priority 0. Other priorities, like this chest, are, I think it's 15. Yeah. The storage drawers are 50. So I can't set a priority for it to go into the drums first and then into this tank here. But, hey ho, doesn't really matter. And so far, we've not really had many scrubs. I'm storing some of the basic armor and stuff that we're going to get here. I haven't got anything else from them apart from these arrows and these bones, which are going to be stored here. I've got 3 extra storage drawers here just in case I need them for anything. So basically what happens is the farm produces all the stuff. It comes into here and it goes into these storage drawers first. Obviously, I haven't set a place in the storage drawers for bows and armor because different bows require different ones. This one requires a different... Oh, actually, these are all, oddly enough, 25 those ones were. But as you can see, the durability changes on these, and it would be an individual storage drawer for each durability. But we can repair these and send them off into a storage that way, and that's probably what we'll do with these. But for right now, I just want to keep a stockpile of them here again with the armor here. Just a stockpile of stuff. So they go into these storage drawers. The ones that can't go into these storage drawers go into the chest. Also, the chests serve as overflow slightly for any items that I haven't accounted for here. There's a rare treasure drop. So we've got the two. This is the common, this is the uncommon, and then we've got the rare. And obviously, I haven't put that in yet because I haven't got any. So I don't know if we're going to get any from just skeletons, but we may do. So there's a place there for them. Then what it'll do is it'll send it into this ender chest. And this ender chest is going to go over into our mob farm all the way over here. This is going to be mob HQ over here. So let's just get out here. This is going to be mob HQ where we deal with all of the stuff that our mob farms produce. So, you know, we'll deal with all the drops here. And we are going to add more mob farms to this place here. I think we're going to add a couple here, a couple here, and a couple here. May do a couple of different designs for different ones. You know, I've got to have a bit of a think about how I want to do that. I obviously wanted 6 skeleton spawners because there's a lot that require skeletons. But I want to show you the last thing that I've got to show you is actually in here. If we right click this, you can see that we are storing essence here now. So we made this a couple of episodes ago, and if we go all the way over here, I've added or started to add the storage for fluids. And we've got the bedrockium drum I moved over here. I'm just put regular drums over there because this is going to be the big deep storage. So we can see that we're storing that here. This is going to be on a separate network to the rest of the system, I think. And as you can see, I've got the tank here. These tanks and these ender chests are brilliant because whatever colors you put on the top work. Trouble is, they're unique. They're not unique to a player. They're just worldwide. So if Jace came along or Sparkles came along and decided to have this combination, he would get my essence as well. But we're not the kind of people to nick from each other, so we don't need to worry about that. But yeah, I think that's everything, guys. So I'm going to call it there. And I'm going to think in the next episode, I think I want to get to work on another one of the farms. I think maybe a creeper farm. I'm not entirely sure on that one yet. But yeah, that's going to call it for this episode, guys. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like. It really helps out the channel. I really do appreciate it. So please do leave that like. And click subscribe if you want to see more from me, guys. I'm MrKCDavis. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.